are keeping me kind of on track. So growing your team. So I think that's the next thing is, okay, now we've got some wrap parties down. We got that. So how are we going to grow our team with distributors and loyal customers, right? People are like, I'm not getting distributors, I'm not getting loyal customers. So multiple different ways that we can do it. So one, you saw with wrap parties. Two, social media. Creating your hit list, cold message, follow-ups. Okay, perfect. So we'll do the hit list first. So newer distributors, and even if you're not new, you've got to go through and start adding new people. Go through your list again. Write those names out that you just firmly believe, like, I just think that they would be amazing at this. Like, my cousins weren't in this forever. Tammy's out of the room right now, but she had known about the product for a long time, and then finally was like, okay, I think I'm ready. She was sick of being at work in a little cubicle and wanted to be home with her kids. So, you know, we never know. So always have that list out. You got to be creating that. And your hit list is going to keep growing, kind of like your hundreds list. But when you first get started, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Steph. There's got to be somebody that you're like, they just would be amazing at this.
Right.
Let them know that. So I don't want you guys to be scripty, okay? I know you all want scripts. They do not work. If you get a script from somebody else or get added into some crazy group, do you get like annoyed? Mm-hmm. So we don't want to be that. We want to be real, and it can be very, I mean, it's probably going to sound like the same thing that I would do, but hey, you know what, I can't get you off of my mind because you're going to your friend or people that you know. I just really think you would be good at It Works. Have you ever thought about it? Or I've been watching you for a while, and you know what, I can't help it. You're on my mind. I just need to ask, have you ever thought about giving It Works a try? So you've got to ask. And the majority of things when people look at me like, oh, Stephanie and Joel just have all these distributors flocking out the woodworks. I wish that was the case.
We do.
Just saying. I work every single day at it, you guys. So how I do that is I post, and you guys can go through my page too and look. If I post a before and after picture, it's like they're scared to touch it. They don't want to like it. They don't want to comment. But lifestyle, getting some other things in there. If I post my daughter or whatever, or a cat with its feet up, not touching the ocean. I mean, people are drawn to different things, but they can still scroll through my page and see that I do It Works. But the most that I get is by me messaging people. So we have to take the time of, well, I post on Facebook all the time and nothing's happening. Do not wait for somebody to message you, guys. You got to take that initiative to actually message them. So that's something that I want you to do is create that list, message them. If they've said no a few times, it doesn't hurt to keep asking them. Or if they haven't looked at the message, I really want you to message them again and just say, okay, I know I've messaged you like 5 times, but you know, I just can't get you out of my mind. Have you thought of it?
No may just mean not right now or not this product, in all honesty, because if the only thing that you're sharing with them is BOGO, 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 all you're presenting them is wraps.
Yep.
If all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've got a great essential oil thing. You didn't know that they were like essential oil queen, and you just hit their spot. Now they're like, I want to order everything that you have. So think about that too when you're doing follow-up, is you have to follow up in different ways and with different products. Because it's not just no, it's like Steph says, some people just don't like mustard. You're like, hey, do you want mustard and ketchup on your hot dog? They're like, no. Like, okay. That's exactly how this is. They may not like mustard, but all of a sudden you say relish and they're like, these are the greatest hot dogs on the face of the planet. So just keep trying in different ways, and you'll eventually get somebody that was a no for 7 years to be a distributor, and you're like, how did that even happen? Just please be in long enough to have that happen in 7 years.
And have you guys ever done product of the week? Have you guys ever thought about messaging somebody and going, oh my gosh, this is product of the week, hair, skin, and nails. I just wanted to give you a quick blurb on it. Do you know anybody that might like it? So message people that. It's a product of the week. Like, it's not hard, right? So like Joel said, we talk about the wraps, we're showing that, but they don't even know about hair, skin, and nails. They don't know about ThermoFit. They don't know about probiotic. Like, that is amazing.
Every day is Customer Appreciation Day and Product of the Week. Customer Appreciation Day, Product of the Week.
And they don't know that you're whatever.
And keep track, don't delete your text because you don't want to go back in there and be like, it's Product of the Week. You're like, just text her yesterday.
But
hey,
that
Stacy. No,
gives you, you know, something new to really connect with people. Again, because people are like, I didn't know that you were just more than a wrap. So we got the hit list. We're doing that through social media, through your wrap parties. Constantly, if you're handing out blitz cards, you know, get people's information. So if you're paying and they start asking you about that, say, you know what, I do a product of the week for a free drawing for it. Just go ahead and write down your name, your address, and phone number, and I'll enter you to win. So now you're getting their messages, and you can type in their email or their phone number or their name and find them on Facebook. And I would recommend, if they don't add you right on Facebook right then, that you're following up with them, letting them know, hey, I met you on Facebook or at the grocery store.
In technology world, they call this data mining. Do you understand that companies pay billions of dollars to data mine, to get people's phone numbers, email addresses, Facebook pages? That is what you should be thinking about, because that information is gold for you. Why? Because you can follow up. The greatest thing about this is anything that you and you alone can control will make you wealthy. If you put a blitz card in somebody's hand and you leave that there and you don't get their information, you took all of that control and handed it to them, walked away, hoping they will contact you in the oblivion someday. You do the same thing, but you get an email address or a phone number or connect with them on social media. You now have the control to contact them unlimited for the rest of eternity, or until they block you and tell you no. Right. But that is the way that you win at this, is because anything that you and you alone can control, it's up to you. Everything outside of that, it's up to God. He's going to come right alongside you and go, oh, here's this person that you didn't randomly know you needed. And you're like, awesome. But you need to make sure that you're getting the things that you can do. Because when you're sitting around and go, well, I don't have anything to do, well, that means you're not collecting enough information because you're just handing your stuff out there. When people are like, I've been blitzing all over the place and I haven't gotten anybody to contact me. I'm like, well, have you contacted anyone? No, why not? Because you don't have any phone numbers. Okay, well, there's the missing link. Now let's go for the next 6 days and get people's contact information and see how many people you sign up doing it that way. And you follow up at the end of the week, I'm like, it's amazing, I got 3 loyal customers. Exactly, because you are driven and you're determined. You were just missing the one step, which was the thing that you could control. Now that you can control it, you're on fire.
So when people are like, how did you build this without social media? I went into places, we didn't even have coupons, you guys. I was blitzing with no coupons. So that's like cold messaging. Like, I got this down. I was scared to death. I was like, but I gotta do this. Like, I was so mad that somebody didn't share with me about this opportunity that I just didn't feel like it was fair that I was holding it all in for myself. So I would go in, I'd have my It Works one shirt on that I had, and it was ugly, you guys. It was terrible.
Just say it
No, it was
thing on the side.
no. Yeah.
Oh, the swirl. Yeah, that was bad.
Anyway,
Strike that from the video.
Yeah, but it was.
I still have that shirt somewhere.
So I would go in and I would have either dark jeans on or flat, and it just looked professional, right? So I would just go in and I would say, hey, I'm Stefani, I'm rep with It Works, have you ever heard of it? And sometimes it would be nice, sometimes it would be really mean, and I would just be like, whoa, okay, you're having a bad day. Like, I just was wondering, I was in the area, and it's a new product to the market, and I was just wondering if you would be interested in maybe learning how you could retail it if it was a salon, in your salon, or maybe having a party, or being entered to win one of my product awards. So whatever business it is, so if it's a salon, I would try to say, let's get it in your salon, and do a retail, we always do a launch party. Right now, you guys, they're always, how many fall festivals, how many salon parties are they having right now? Your job should be going into them and saying, I would love to get a little table in here and do a little VIP table for all of your clients one night. I think they would do that. They would totally be like, okay, I can do that for you. Tanning salons, boutiques. They used to do sip, shop, and shrinks because they're going to have sales for Christmas, right, coming up? So how cool would that be if you went into boutiques and set up a little table, and they'd have, usually the salon or the boutique would have wine, and they'd have 20% off their clothing store, and now you have wraps and some different things for them as a special. So anything that I could get into, I did. It was more people that I could get in front of, the better. So this is the best time of the year because of the fall festivities and stuff. Yes?
On that note, I guess I wanted to know your opinion on doing open house style parties with other direct sale companies. Like if it's a festival that they have like vendors that make their own product, like crafters, but then they also have other direct sale. You know,
I call those expos.
I mean,
well, yeah, or even like smaller ones that they have. That's more
like in a house or
No, one of them was at a community center, you know, like one of them was in the church. I just didn't know if it was kind of the mindset that you figure that people maybe set aside a certain amount of money for direct sales stuff that they really are interested
I mean, I think the more that you can get in front of anybody, the better you are. Because somebody might be like, you know what, I've heard about this, and they ask you a question, and now all of a sudden they want to become a customer because they didn't know you had probiotic or hair, skin, and nails, or whatever. So, you know, we're going to give you some ideas here to do some of the more crafty things with the essential oils that I think will pull to get you some more customers for that too. You guys, I did not question it. I just did it. Anything that I could get into, whether it be $25 booths to $400, $600 booths, I split it with other distributors because I wanted this bad. How bad do you guys want it?
Real bad.
You know, you're here on a Sunday afternoon, and so I was like,
We were just talking
I
about
was,
an expo we did in Frankenmuth. It was
yes.
awesome.
And our daughter, we would bring her with, have her little Nintendo DS out, right, Tashina? Like, she was with me all the time. And I would just do it. You know, I didn't use her as an excuse. She would go, sit with us for an hour or two, and then we spent time with her, letting her have some fun too. So make this fun too. So I just went for it. So you guys did a Friday thing at a gym. So, I mean, there's so much opportunity. It's just a matter of calling, getting those things lined up, and doing it. Worst case, you get nothing, but you've got leads to follow up with. Have a drawing for product. Now, that doesn't mean that you always have to give it all away, but the idea is, again, like Joel just said, you're getting people's information. So, say that we do have a logo, or we do have something, and every person you can follow up with and go, oh my gosh, you won a free spa party with 4 of your friends.
Everyone's a spa party winner. Yay!
So that's how
See
you're
how
going to
that
start
works?
getting some momentum and
Yes,
how you're
it
going to
does.
create those wrap parties to get in front of more people. Does that make sense? Do you guys ever have people come in and do stuff at the salon, ask for tables or anything to do stuff with your clients? Or not really?
Not really.
I
We
mean,
used to do it all the time. We used to do it
But we're,
all the time.
we're gonna do, I have a couple new stylists at the salon, and we're gonna actually do, like a lot of people wanna do blowout parties, like they
Yeah.
wanna learn how to blow dry, so we're gonna do skinny blow dries, like parties, so they can wrap and learn how to blow dry their hair.
that's
So
perfect.
That's a great way to offer to the
Yeah.
salon and say, you know, if you guys do a blowout party, I can come and wrap everybody, and they can get skinny while they get
Yeah.
blowout.
What is a blowout party?
Like they,
Blow dry your hair.
like we just teach you how to use a round brush, or, you know, like you
So
get
use
blowout.
this. So this is what you're going to do because you're not a hairstylist, right?
No.
So you're not going
Like,
to blow it out
guys,
your
this is
hair.
uncharted territory for us. I have no idea.
So the idea would be like giving that to your stylist or to a salon and being like, hey, this would be a great thing to do. You can teach how to do blowouts, and I can come teach them about wrapping and getting skinny while they're getting their blowout done. What a brilliant idea, right? So we can be creative. It's getting, how can we get in front of people's people? So I think I'm going to use that. Thanks.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
and
it's great.
also like they can offer like, well, we're
Product
gonna offer
special,
like
20% off.
20% off for all of our products that you take home that at this exclusive blowout party. And then we're gonna have whatever else is giveaway if you have a friend, if you can book another blowout party.
Make sense? So the other thing too is, you know, anybody that shows up is going to get 40% off the product. They just become a loyal customer with you, and now they get 40% off, right? So they can buy the retail pricing there if you've got some product, but then also give them, you know, so again, they're going to do 20% off all our product. For ours, it's 40%, but you become a loyal customer. So there's ways of incorporating that, which I lost my track, but okay. So 100s list should turn into 200s list to 300s list to 1000s list. Like I have so many people that I can't even get through everybody. How do we keep track? I don't know if we have a slide on that. How do we keep track of those lists, right? You've got names and you're like, oh my gosh, I followed up with them before. When do I follow up? How do I keep track of it? Write your dates down of when you message somebody or when you text them or call them. And I have them on my madness here. I just know that I'm a real person. So I have follow-ups like up at the top. So it goes by date. So I'll write the date that I first contacted them there in their distributor sheet. And I put the newest on top and the oldest on the bottom. Because your hotter leads, the closer that you can get them the more likely that they're gonna sign up. Because if it's 6 months, they probably will forget about it, right? So I try to go, okay, anything in September is on top, then it was August, July, does that make sense? So that's kinda how I keep track, and I start with the newest lead and work my way down.
Do you fill out a form for every single one?
I do. That's what works for me. I swear that I'm like, I will drive you freaking bonkers. Probably drive everybody else in my house crazy too. But
Because there's sheets all over the place.
the great thing is I could be like, oh, Laura, can you message these people? Joel, can you message these people for me? Or if they're on Facebook, you know, we can do a mass text or whatever with BOGOs. Because you never know what's going to trigger somebody or what life is going on for them to want to join. So I don't ever throw them away unless they tell me no, or I've signed with somebody else, because that does happen to me too, because I didn't follow up with them enough. How, I don't know. But know that if you're not following up with them, it's programmed in their head, they're thinking about it still, so are you going to be the one that gets them or not? So have that sense of urgency, be like, oh my gosh, I'm growing my team, are you ready? This is such a good time to join right now. We're coming into our busiest time, right? You guys know that have been in for a while, what happens in January, February, March? Like, it is sure freaking awesomeness. So, wouldn't you rather get in now, getting some momentum going into the new year? So you guys gotta have this sense of urgency, like, you better get in now, like, it's go time. So that's really, I'm excited, and I say that, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to help you in my follow-ups. And I'm assuming sales on that.
Question.
Yes.
So you said the papers, you fill out a form for every, I've never filled out one of those forms. I just go right to the website, do it all online, like, or keep track in Facebook. I mean, I've built my whole, anything I have is all social media. It's other than family or people close that I know.
Then that works for you, do that.
But it doesn't.
Okay.
I've lost pretty much everything that I've built. And so I'm now starting over. This sucks, but whatever. Anyways, so you like fill out a paper for everybody that you talk to?
So let's
Here, I'll take this back 20 years. 20 years ago, there was this thing called a Rolodex. And they were small pieces of paper that people would put people's contact information in, and a Rolodex was your gold mine. It traveled with you from job to job, and I'm talking about sales. From job to job to job. That was your gold mine. This is just an updated form of Rolodex. Rolodex went from being a physical paper and pen copy of something to now digital. Steph is not transferred to digital. She is still in the paper and pen era. So you have two
I'm going to
choices.
explain why though.
But hold on. You can do both. So if you're good at keeping track of everything digitally and that works for you, that's great. Don't change that.
That way that Facebook messages are, I cannot, it like confuses the heck out of me.
Just-
Because I get so many
Some
that it
people
goes
do
spreadsheet,
spreadsheets,
right?
that comes
You
back
forget.
to that comes back to this. They changed software so much that you could end up losing some of that information because of the fact that they changed something, and all of a sudden you're like, where did all of my contacts go? So having a paper form of contacting is also very good. And like Laura just said, if you're doing a spreadsheet, that's even helpful too, just because of the fact that you can print it all out at one time. You just have to figure out what works best for you.
So we're really basic kindergarten level here. So y'all should be able to do that. So when you're messaging somebody, like I talked to somebody, they missed out the BOGO, followed up yesterday. I know this is the last day for BOGO. Do you want me to get you started? And she's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, do you get paid on a certain day? She's like, yeah, Friday. So I said, awesome, I'll have your package ready and we'll just go ahead and process it Friday. So now I have the date of when I can go ahead and put her in. Because if you don't write things down, and you have to go through all your messages, like that's crazy. You might forget. Life happens. So if you can find some form of system that works, whether it be you do that, put it in a list or spreadsheet or whatever.
I'm gonna try that because from what you said, I took it as like, oh, you message somebody and well, your name is this and I'm gonna write a paper and whatever. And then, but Suzanne kind of like straightened it out, like, so you kind of just have a follow-up pile of what you, maybe you said not right now, but you still do a sheet and you still.
And here's
then that's a
something,
later file.
I put those in a file folder because, I'm going to pick on Tashina a little bit. Tashina was a distributor when I first joined and quit, and then signed up like 4 years later, 5 years later. So you don't ever know if they're going to be ready again. So if you're like, you know what, I've been in a while, And I was terrible at the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing. Now you follow up with them and be like, you know what, it work just keeps getting better.
I'm super awesome now. You need to join.
You know, things happen, so you never know with them. So don't lose contact and say, I completely understand. Life probably just got in the way, but let's get you back on track and focused. Like, how hard would that be? What if they're like, they actually care about me and took the time to message me about that?
Well, and
So-
I still would have never joined had she not called me. Like, I wasn't looking for this at all. I just would know a lot, and then I'm kind of giving her my social
Her husband
security.
really wanted it.
Yeah.
And believed in her enough and knew that she's passionate about helping people.
Mine's
So-
on my butt too right now.
So-
You need to get back into it.
Yeah, so, you know, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anyone else stop you from keep pushing forward, because there's so many opportunities out there right now. So lots of different ways. But when people say, what did you do? I did a lot, guys. I got myself into so many events. Like, I thought I had to go 8 hours away because I didn't want people to know what I was doing, because I thought they thought I was crazy. So I would do an expo that was 8 hours away, and I'm like, okay, I gotta sell this many wraps to pay for it. Like, I had no money, guys. So I was like, I gotta do it. So I was slinging those wraps. I was like, looking at wrap. Like, if you wrap somebody for free in front of people, then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta try it. Like, there's just that. I had this sense of like urgency. I don't know. It's just like out in front of my booth, like, come over here. Like, let's do this. So people were drawn to that. I wasn't like sitting like behind the desk, like. Because you know those booths. You walk by them and they're like, your life looks like it sucks.
Why are you even in that business?
I don't want to even be part of that. So, you know, have some fun with it. Ring a dang bell, I don't know. And get different people, because every single person is drawn to a different person. You know, I thought you had to be a Barbie doll in this. I don't know. I just thought that they were all Barbie dolls that were going to be on stage. And I went to my first conference. I was like, oh, they're all different sizes and all different ages. I could totally do this. So you look around the room and you're like, everybody looks different. So we're all going to attract different people. So cold messaging. What do you guys have questions on for cold messaging? Anything? Don't be scripty, I think, is the number one thing I can say, is don't copy and paste. Be real to that person as much as you can. Yes.
I'm so sorry.
No, behind you. She's
I'm
asking.
just kind of lost on what to say when I message.
So you feel lost on what to
Like,
do.
I don't want to sound salesy. I've been selling
Okay.
my whole life. I'm
Okay.
a hairstylist for 12 years. So
That's why you have awesome hair. It looks good.
like, you know, it's so I've been kind of like, oh, you need to do this, you just need to buy it, and I'm just like, here, you just gotta go. And so I just put it on their tab and tell them their price and yada yada. I'm never been a computer person, so this is all new.
Hey, I am not a computer person either, so that's no excuses there. So hopefully that product of the week will help you. And it's not as cold now, right? Just being excited, like, hey, you know, I don't know if you knew this, but I do a product of the week. Have you ever heard of this? And give a little blurb of what it is. You know, try to switch it up. Don't do 20 of the same message, because Facebook won't allow it to be seen for whatever reason. I don't know how that works. So make it a little bit more. Hey, Susie, have you ever heard of? And how much different do they have to do it?
It depends. I mean, change it up as much as you can.
Yeah, change it up, you know, as much as you can without just copy and pasting, so people will see it. And go back through and try to see who you've messaged, because again, Facebook, how do you keep track? Well, it's the dates. If they've read it, I would go, hey, I know you've read it. Do you have to wait for a certain payday? Like, I can totally get your package ready for the payday. Letting them know, maybe, you know, I've been challenged. You guys are all going to be challenged today to go book a wrap party. So you can put it off on me and say, well, Stephanie's challenge is to do this wrap party. Will you help me do this? When you ask for help, people want to help, right? So let's ask for, I think you did that too. You're asking for wrap parties as they're willing to help you. And it might not be anything to do with the wraps. It could be all essential oils. You know, teaching them all about the different ways of doing essential oils. So does that kind of help as far as cold messaging? I'm the same way, but I message people and I'm just like, you know what? You look like you do hair. Go into people's profiles for you and like, oh, she's a hairstylist. Hey, you know what? I can't get out of my mind. Has anybody ever told you you could make some extra money by having this product in your salon or at your stylist? That's the first place that I went. I felt comfortable with it, because I used to do hair. So I'm like, That's a no-brainer. Hair, skin, and nails. Are you kidding me? People can be wrapped because they're probably
I
going to
mean,
go to
really,
a
who
special
doesn't have
event.
hair, skin, and nails?
You know, looking for those product testers. Hey, I've got a couple spots. You came to mind. So really saying that they came to your mind, just letting them know that they care, because that's how I'll get a few people each month too. Is Cal, she's messaged me again, and I'll say, you know what? The next thing that they'll say is, I don't have the money. We all get that. Like they want to join, but they don't have the money. And I heard Pam say this the other night. I was like, I have never heard her say this. So we're gonna ask the questions. If you had the money, would you join? And if they say yes, awesome, let's do a wrap party. Because now you're going to bring the wraps, and I used to do this all the time, you guys. I would bring the wraps, have them sell the 4. She would give me the kits right back out of her money, but now she's got $100 to join the party. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And she probably got some of her customers and distributors. That's what we used to do. Like, we never took anybody as, well, they didn't have money, but, well, what if you did? Would you join? So now there's a way to do that. If they say,
Hey, I talked to my spouse.
talk to my spouse. Well, what if
What
your
if he already
spouse
said it was cool?
said, go ahead. You know, so really, they're giving you too many excuses, then they're just giving you excuses.
After the 3rd one, you know, okay, I don't want them on my team anyway, because this is what it's going to be every time I ask them if they want to do a party, if they want to go blitz, if they want to try another product. You're basically weeding out the people that you don't want on your team anyways.
Then they sign up with somebody else.
Yes.
Bye.
And so for those of you that don't know, when do I follow up? Fridays, Thursday nights, because people get paid on Friday. But again, how bad do you guys want this? I know Susan really wants it. She wants to go to a leadership retreat or something. So I think, you know, for me, I would just follow up with them. It had been a couple days and I saw that they read it. Hey, you probably just got busy, and you know what? I totally understand, but is this something that you're still interested in? So I just continue to follow up until they just say no. Because by not saying anything, they're still thinking about it.
Ready for the new nerd tip? Who's got an iPhone? Awesome. Who just downloaded iOS 10? Did you see the new function on your text messages?
Yes, I love it.
You can send invisible ink messages to them. You can shout at them. So
The
now,
invisible ink is
these people that you've messaged a couple times that aren't replying, but you know you've said seen, you can send an invisible ink thing and it shows up on their thing fuzzy, and it says, message sent by invisible ink. You better believe if somebody you don't know sends you something with invisible ink, you're going to be like,
what is this?
What?
I want to swipe it.
or if you do one, I think it's called slamming, it actually vibrates their phone when they open it. So they go to open it, it's like, brr, they're like, oh, well now I really got to pay attention because it just buzzed me. And then they're shouting where it comes across as all capital letters in a big bubble, and then whispering, it goes small and then gets bigger as it goes. So learn that new function in your phone. So basically all you have to do is when you type in all of your information, before you hit the arrow button, hold down the arrow button and it'll give you the different options on how to send it.
So you go to regular text message.
Yep, as you're going to send a regular text message, you
Yeah,
type,
you're gonna have to tell me.
You have
Yep,
to
you type it all
download, you have the new,
Yep. So the arrow before, you know how you're supposed to hit the arrow to send your message?
Yeah.
You hold it down and it brings up a menu of different ways to send it.
now everybody's gonna be doing invisible ink.
Yep.
I was like, that's kind of genius. So, where do we have host to post? Do I have that one up there?
Next.
Okay, I just want to make sure, yes.
Okay, 2 questions. One, when I blitz, I feel like the majority of time I manage to get people's information, but then they never respond to my messages. And I think maybe I'm waiting too long to message them. Like maybe I should do it
How long are you waiting?
sometimes like 3 days to a
Yeah,
week.
I messaged him that night. Say it was so nice to meet you. Just wanted to keep you updated on, you know, some product of the week or anything, you know, or if you're ever looking for extra money. So message people immediately. The quicker that you get a conversation going, the better. So yeah, start. I do immediately. It was, you know, just so nice to meet you. And maybe nothing about it works. It was just such a nice time to meet you, whatever.
Then there's all that.
Right.
I don't know what is this. I haven't seen
It's funny.
It's
It's my funny for the day.
okay. Can you explain it to me?